right? Nehemiah chapter 4, let's call this one building strength, because as Israel progresses and begins to show signs of success, once again, it's going to provoke their enemies to anger at least 2 times in this chapter, where as their enemies get word that they are beginning to build again, they are going to begin to jeer and try to discourage them, kind of casting aspersions on their progress, saying that even if you are building, it's weak. And so they're going to persevere through that as Nehemiah is going to pray to God to turn their jeering or their taunts back on them. And as he encourages the people to keep going, the chapter is going to have a relatively famous passage, as one of our brothers mentioned it Wednesday night class. A mind to work is going to be the common perspective of the people. And so they're going to continue to progress to the point where it's going to provoke their enemies once again, this time not just to come back with words, but a plan, ultimately to kill the Israelites if they can, but if not, to simply confuse them in their efforts to continue building the wall around Jerusalem. And so that is going to become a problem when some of their neighbors, the neighbors of their enemies, are going to get wind of it and say, look, you guys need to come home, because they're plotting to not just come and cause trouble, they're plotting to come and kill y'all. And so they're going to do this 10 times, they're going to warn them, but Nehemiah is going to say, don't worry about it. He's got a plan. And what he is going to do is going to lead into a very famous passage of scripture where he is going to divide the people's attention between building and defense. He's going to do it short term, meaning he's going to do it in a way that's going to discourage their efforts to try to come and attack the people on that first occasion. But beyond that, he's going to put together a plan going forward, which could possibly be summed up by the visual that the chapter describes as some of them working with sword in one hand and materials or tools in the other. And that might likewise sum up their approach going forward, as they are going to have to be vigilant day and night. And during the day while they're working, they're going to have to divide their attention between building and defense in a way that ordinarily should allow their enemies to divide and conquer them, a term that we often use in this modern age of ways in which an adversary tries to get you to become ineffective in a goal you're trying to reach, dividing your attention or dividing your team in a way that does not allow you to make progress. And it's likely that the relatively small number of people they have back to do the work should be divided to the point where they cannot finish. But a later chapter is going to describe the ways in which God's going to let them be divided, but not conquered, as he helps them finish the work in a way that's going to frighten those who are trying to frighten